In this video, I will be using group policy to deploy NextCloud. I will use two different deployment options to deploy the software. One of them is where we create a policy for our domain computers, and then the domain computers install the software during startup. And other one is where we create a group policy for our domain users, and then the users themselves can install the software whenever they like. I'm starting this video from my GitHub page, and here you can find more of my videos that are related to this topic. For example, here you can find my Windows Server setup if you're interested in that, and also extra group policies and settings that I'm using when I'm deploying software using group policy. And I will leave the URL in the description down below. And now I will begin this video by downloading NextCloud client installation files, and for that I will use the link that I have here. That brings me to the NextCloud download page. Then I will select download for desktop and Windows 10 64-bit. Then I will go to my downloads folder, and here I have my MSI file. And now that I have my MSI file, I will right click on it, select copy, and then I will go to my VMware workstation where I have my Windows Server setup. For now, I will minimize the server manager, and then I will move the MSI file first to my desktop, and then we need to move it from the desktop to a network location that is accessible to our clients. And for me, it's my file server named SRV02. Here I have this software share, and here I will be creating a new folder. I'll name it NextCloud Client. I will go inside of it and move the MSI file into this folder. And here you need to make sure that you have the correct NTFS and share permissions. For example, in my case, if I go to Properties, Security Type, and Edit, you can see that I have authenticated users with read permissions. And I have the same permissions for my NTFS permissions and the share permissions. And authenticated users covers both users and computers, so both users and computers can access the share and execute files from it. So make sure that you have the correct permissions, and now let's close everything and go to the server manager. Then Tools and Group Policy Management. Then I will right click on my group policy objects and select New. And the first policy that I will be creating will be for the domain computers. It's where the software is installed during the startup process. So first step, we need to name our group policy, and in this case I will name it Assign NextCloud Client. I will remove the space here, and then I will click OK. Then I will expand group policy objects, right click on the newly created group policy and click Edit. And because this is a policy for our computers, we need to go to the computer configuration, policies, software settings, and software installation. Here I will right click, go to New, and select Package. Here you need to make sure that you are selecting a file that is not local on your server. For example, this one is a local file that is on this server's desktop, because it will allow to select it, but the computers will fail to install it because they will not have access to the desktop of the server. So make sure that you're selecting a file that is located in a network share. And for me, once again, it's SRV02 server. The software folder, NextCloud Clients folder, and then I will select the MSI package. Here I will select Advanced and click OK. Then let's go to Deployment and Advanced. And here I will be selecting Ignore Language when deploying this package, because I want to deploy it. I want to deploy this package no matter what operating system language the client has. Then I will click OK and OK. And we are done creating our group policy. So I will close this window. Then I will select the policy, go to Details, and for GPO status, I will select User Configuration is disabled, because this group policy currently has only the computer settings in it. And I will leave all other settings on default. And after creating our group policy, now we need to link it to an organization unit that is holding the computers on which we want to deploy the software. So I will expand my organization units, and I will be linking it to this organization unit right here, domain computers 1. So to link the policy, I will click and hold on it and then drag and drop it on the organization unit. And as you can see, it appeared in here and also in this list right here. And now I will go to one of my client machines that is located in this organization unit, and let's see if the group policy is working correctly. So the client is this one, client 01. And here the first thing that we need to do is to update our group policy. And for that, I will go to Start menu. I will type in CMD and I will open command line without administrative privileges. And here I will type GP update. And as you can see here, we are getting this informational message right here that is informing us that it detected a software installation package and that we need to reboot the computer for the software installation to happen. So to reboot the computer, I will type shutdown -R -T0 and let's see what happens. As you can see here, the computer is informing us that it is currently installing the software for us. So let's wait a bit. It seems that it is done installing, so let's sign back into our user. And here we have our NextCloud client desktop icon right here. So I will double click on it. I will click OK here. And it gives us the sign in screen. So everything seems to be working just fine. And that's it for this type of software deployment where the computer installs the software during startup. Now let's create another group policy where our users will be able to install the software whenever they like. So for that, I will go back to my server. I will right click on group policy object, select new, and this time I will name the policy publish NextCloud client and click OK. I will select the newly created policy, right click it and select edit. And this policy is for the user, so we need to go to the user configuration, policies, software settings, and software installation. Once again, I will right click here, select new and select package. Here, again, you need to make sure that you're selecting a file that is located in the network. For example, by pressing here, I can see that this is my SRV02 file server. So I will click on this file, I will select advanced and select OK. Then I will go to the deployment tab. And here for installation user interface options, I will select basics because I don't want to allow users to select anything during the installation process. And I will click OK. We're done creating our policy, so I will close this window. And this time for GPO status, I will select computer configuration settings disabled because this policy only has user settings in it. And once again, we need to link this group policy to an organization unit. But this time we need to link it to an organization unit that is holding our users. And in my case, it will be this organization unit right here called domain users. So to link it, I will click and hold on the policy and drag and drop it on the organization unit. And as you can see here, it appeared here and here. And this is the only policy that I have for this organization unit. And now to test this group policy, I will go to my other client machine that I have here, client 02, that currently doesn't have a NextCloud client. And here I have this shortcut right here to install the software from the network. I'll double click on it. And as you can see, the software list is currently empty. So to fill the list, we need to update our group policy. And for that, once again, I will go to Start menu, type in CMD, and I will open it without admin privileges. And here I will type GP update. And the policy was updated successfully. So now I will go back to my software list, right click and click refresh. And as you can see, now we have our NextCloud installation package. So I will double click on it. It starts the installation. The installation was successful, so I will select no because I don't want the computer to be restarted. And I will open the NextCloud client. I will click OK here. And once again, it seems to be working just fine. And that's it for this video. In the future videos, I will show you how to deploy NextCloud client using other software deployment tools. So like and subscribe if you want to see that, and see you in the next one.